Okay, so our next guest started off in restaurants, then went to be a university sorority chef, and then ended up being a social media sensation. We have Kevin Ashton, better known as Old School Kevmo on TikTok, and he's gone from feeding the Pi Beta Phi chapter at UNR to cooking for an audience of more than 5.5 million followers online. So thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely, I'm super excited to be here. Thank you.
We're excited to talk to you because this is so interesting. Let's talk about your decades of food experience.
I come from a family of food. So my grandfather had a restaurant back in the 60s in San Francisco. My mom and dad had 3 different restaurants in Reno where I worked at all 3 of them. So I grew up in this business.
How did you end up at the UNR sorority house?
That happened when the pandemic hit. I decided to step away from the restaurants. I'd spent 30 years. It was just time for a change. And while I was sitting around for a few months trying to figure out my next step, I got a phone call that there was a position open, and they asked if I want to come down and talk to them and maybe help out for a couple weeks. And a couple weeks turned into 4 years.
That is so funny. And then in that time, you've actually grown your social media following quite significantly. Why do you think people enjoy your content so much?
People want to know what happens inside a sorority house. And I went through some different things. I had cancer. And during that period, I shared my story the whole time. So I had a lot of people saying that they can relate, that they too were sick and they felt alone. And my videos gave them comfort and kind of helped them through their journey at the same time. So it was a combination of the sorority house and my being sick, and it all just kind of came together at once.
Wonderful. And okay, so you have a pretty bold claim. You say that mortadella is the most underrated deli meat in America.
Absolutely.
Okay, what is mortadella? I've never even heard of it.
It's like a fancy bologna. And most of us grew up eating bologna on a white bread, simple sandwiches, right? So mortadella is kind of a little fattier, a little bit more spices and flavor in it, but it's basically a bologna. It really is.
And that's what we have here. I was telling you that it's funny, with working at a sorority house, I would think that they would want it pretty simple, but you said, no way, Jose, you went your own way.
I do. They asked me to keep it simple and not to get too crazy with the dishes I serve, and keep it very simple for the girls when I tell them what's for dinner. So they wanted me to, call spaghetti sauce meat sauce, and I said, no way, we're having bolognese tonight. And the girls loved it, and they knew what bolognese was.
Right. Don't underestimate the college kids. They know a little more than we think.
They are our future, and they love to eat.
Exactly. So let's go back to the mortadella.
Okay.
How do you dress it up?
So what we're doing, we take our mortadella, and I fold it up, and then I'm simply gonna do this crisscross back and forth.
Okay.
And I put it on a skewer.
Easy enough.
And we do this a couple of times, and then what we do is simple. Everything changes when you cook this mortadella.
Okay.
And you get these crispy edges. It's like that crispy burnt part of a hot dog, and that's my favorite part of a hot dog. It absolutely is. So we get it just like that, and we throw them down on the grill, and we crisp it up on all the sides. It's super simple. It's really fast.
Okay, but then you're not done yet.
Then we are not done yet. What I do, I have some arugula pesto that I'm making, and I take my lemon-infused olive oil, and we're gonna add this in. I have arugula, Parmesan cheese, garlic, and pistachios.
Okay.
We add in our lemon-infused olive oil.
Okay.
And then we're just gonna blend this and create a nice pesto. A little bit different than the traditional basil pesto.
Okay.
Let's see if I can get this lid on here.
It's okay. We might run out of time before you do, but that is okay. No, I'm told we're good on time. Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Of course, on live TV it would stop working.
Yeah, it's not going to work, but
it's okay.
But anyway, we make our pesto.
Okay.
And then we're going to put some right onto these skewers.
Okay.
Which is not going to go on at the moment. Let me show you how it's okay. I always say there's no rules in cooking, so you can't mess up.
Exactly.
So if something doesn't work, you just skip it and you move on to the next step. So I've got this Dijonnaise, which is going to work.
Okay.
So we would generally put this pesto down. We take a little bit of this Dijonnaise.
There we go.
Drizzled right on top. And then we just finish that with a little bit of chopped pistachios.
And this is stuff you make in the sorority house?
I would make them things like this. I'll serve it with a little salad, and it goes over amazing. The girls just love it.
I'm sure they do.
These girls love to eat. And it's a balance. They like cheeseburgers and fries, but they also like, a nice granola bowl and fruit.
And mortadella.
And mortadella. So they eat everything.
I love it. What a great way that you've harnessed your talent to help millions of people. So how can people find you if they don't know you yet?
I'm all over social media, so it's Old School Kevmo. You can find me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and just put my name in Google. It'll take you to one of my videos.
Wonderful. Kevin, thank you so much for that. We appreciate, and thank you for introducing me to Mortadella. Like
Absolutely.
I said, I've never heard of it before. I love learning new things.
Yeah, it's been my pleasure.
All right, Kevin, thank you so much.
You got
Jason,
it.
I'll send it over to you.